'Tis the season, the most wonderful time of the year, celebration with friends and family. It's time to pay tribute to this jolly month, so join us as we get into the Christmas spirit. You've heard of Elf on the Shelf, but this is Venom on the Shelf.
Hello and welcome to Venom on the Shelf, 31 days celebrating this festive period.
What's your name, little boy?
Eric.
Eric. What do you want for Christmas, Eric?
Potatoes.
Also, see, Santa, it counts, yeah.
I don't know, man!
The French Connection is a buddy cop film with partners Popeye, played by Gene Hackman, and Cloudy, played by Roy Scheider, trying to track down a French drug smuggler, played by Fernando Rey. That's about it. There's a sniper hitman in the mix and awesome train chase scene. It's a lot more entertaining than it sounds, but yeah, it's pretty good.
Terrific.
The film was actually based on a true story, which was also a novel in 1969 by Robin Moore. Michael Winner was approached to direct the picture, but he turned it down, not caring for the story, which is when William Friedkin took on the job. Great, I loved his last one.
Because that's my opinion. Shove it up your ass.
Despite taking on the responsibility, Friedkin hated the source material and refused to even read it. How can you hate something you haven't read?
Who knows?
His main inspiration to make this picture was the fact that he lived with the daughter of legendary director Howard Hawks at the time. He asked her father what he thought of his films, and he called them lousy. Hey, I like him already. Well, other than the fact that he made this piece of crap.
Shut up!
He then told him, make a good chase, make one better than anyone has ever done before. Casting was a major issue. Friedkin originally wanted Paul Newman in the lead, but he was far too expensive. Jackie Gleason was the next choice, but the studio refused, calling him box office poison since Gigi was a flop a few years earlier. Jimmy Breslin was a columnist who had never acted before, but despite this, he was given a chance but refused to learn to drive for the role. Steve McQueen was approached but refused to do another cop film after his movie Bullet. Lee Marvin turned down an offer as he didn't find the story particularly interesting. Robert Mitchum also declined, hating the script, and others considered were Rod Taylor, Adam West, Charles Bronson, James Caan, and Peter Boyle. Friedkin was always opposed to casting Gene Hackman, but eventually settled with him anyway. That's nice.
I said it's bullshit.
Fernando Rey was actually cast as the villain by complete accident. Friedkin saw a 1967 French film called Belle de Jour and really liked the performance from Francisco Rabal, who only had a cameo appearance. Friedkin didn't know his name, so he got his casting director to contact him, which is when Fernando Rey was mistakenly approached to be in the film. He was awesome anyway, so best mistake of his life, really.
You're lucky this time.
William Shatner was considered for the part of Hackman's buddy, but Roy Scheider ended up getting the part. Surprising considering he was so adamant that he had failed his audition, he stormed out in anger, but Friedkin claimed this was the exact reason why he got the part. Oh, and this isn't even an actor. This is the real subway conductor. The actual actor didn't show up that day. A lot of awesome mistakes in this film.
Thank you.
Like this car crash, totally real. The producers didn't have a permit to cut off the traffic, and the driver had no idea that a chase scene was being filmed, so this was completely legitimate. Luckily, the producers paid for all of the repairs. Despite finally being cast, Hackman did have several issues, however. Firstly, he struggled to use racial slurs without cringing.
How the hell did I know he had a knife? Never trust a nigger.
Wow. Rather uncalled for.
He could have been white. Never trust anyone.
Okay, that's better. And the opening chase scene almost caused him to quit the entire production altogether. Friedkin asked for 27 takes and Gene nearly walked and was only kept on board when they threatened him with legal action. It was only 27 takes, man. Be thankful it wasn't Kubrick.
Or have you forgotten about that already?
It's noted as having one of the greatest chase sequences in film history, but it did come with some controversy. Many hated the fact that it ends with Hackman shooting the hitman in the back, but real-life counterparts the film was based on were present on the set and gave their blessing for it to be included. However, they weren't happy with the closing captions of the film for being incorrect. The film claims Popeye and Cloudy were transferred out of narcotics and reassigned, but in real life they were split up 4 years and 2 narcotic cases later. I can totally see why they would be so outraged.
Oh, bullshit.
The ads say that the time is just right for an out-and-out thriller like this. And I guess you are supposed to think a good old kind of movie has honed too soon to come around again, but The French Connection is in fact a very good new kind of movie, and that in spite of it being composed of such ancient material as cops and crooks with thrills and chases and lots of shoot 'em up. The American Film Institute picked it as the 93rd greatest movie in history, Time Out picked it as the 40th best action film, and it picked up 5 Academy Awards for Best Adapted Screenplay, which is weird because the script was actually ignored for the most part, most of the film's dialogue was improvised, Best Actor for Gene Hackman, Best Film crediting Best Director and Best Picture, making it the first ever R-rated movie to win Best Picture. For you film snobs out there, Best Picture winner Midnight Cowboy in 1969 was originally rated X when released and then later changed to rated R, so no, it doesn't count.
We deserve this.
The movie went on to pick up 3 Golden Globes for Best Motion Picture, Best Director and Best Actor for Hackman, 2 awards at the Kansas City Film Critics Circle for Hackman and Best Film, again Best Actor for Hackman at the New York Film Critics Circle, and a fictitious sequel even followed in 1975 with the cast reprising their roles. The French Connection is a very up and down experience, to say the least.
What?
Due to its low budget, Friedkin had the cameraman sit on a wheelchair and be pushed around, as opposed to using a Steadicam, which is blatantly obvious at the start of the film, especially when the cameraman has to frantically stand up to follow Hackman onto the subway. The shaky cam does get quite distracting at the start, but what's annoying is when there's not even any need for it to be a handheld shot. I mean, this shot is nice and still, I'm assuming a tripod. And yet when they look across the room, this shot that is pretty much the exact same kind of shot is shaky as hell. Why? Did Michael J. Fox take over the camera for a second?
Do you believe all this crap?
But the direction does have some amazing shots, like here, zooming on a Hackman outside or going past people's faces to focus on someone else in the distance. The chase scene, I cannot insult. It's honestly perfection. You can tell the influence it had on future train sequences like Spider-Man 2 or Batman Begins. This shot in particular is absolutely gorgeous. It's fast-paced, it's intense, it's exciting, everything is magnificent. Honestly, it's one of the best action scenes I have ever witnessed. I mean, this film has Lex Luthor dressed as Santa Claus with the guy from Jaws chasing down Black Dynamite. How awesome is that?
The hell are you talking about?
However, I do think this movie is a tad overhyped. My main complaint is that sometimes the film does get a little boring for me. There's always going to be exposition in buddy cop dramas, but this just isn't too interesting. They find clues and it's easily skippable. It's not until the train chase when it picks back up again and gets you invested. There are clever moments when Hackman and the accidental casting try to trick each other onto the subway going in and out, but I have to ask, wouldn't he have blown his cover right here? Surely someone on the train would have been like, hey mate, why did you just step out only to step back on again? But despite that, the tension's built really nicely, which the music complements really well.
I got him on the shuttle at Grand Central. Now what the hell's going on up there? I make him come out of the hotel. He was free as a bird. He went a solo away.
Why does Hackman yell out his plan knowing damn well his target is nearby? Kinda sucks at keeping his identity secret.
You gotta be reasonable.
I guess another issue is I don't really find these characters that interesting either. The reason Rush Hour is so good is because the characters were colourful, they were entertaining, they were memorable. I understand that that was more of a comedy, but these characters are just kind of bland, uninteresting, and don't really have anything to them. There's a scene where they bust some drug smugglers in a bar, but I'm very confused here. Now we find out later that Hackman keeps a gun by his ankle, but these guys don't know that. It's 2 guys without guns against about a dozen people. Why do they surrender so easily? Hackman threatens to break their hands and that's it. I mean, he punches them, but come on, as much as I love Hackman, most of these guys look like they could take him on in a fight. Even after the epic train chase, everything slows down again, which is understandable. It gives the audience time for a breather, but then there's exposition as they search through a car for drugs, and again, I don't really find it that interesting. Also, they rip apart the vehicle and find nothing, and Hackman still isn't convinced. I mean, he's proven to be right later, but my point is, he looks like a stubborn child.
That thing is clean.
I don't buy that, Irv.
No, I don't care what you say, it's not true. But hey, look who made it! Shine Moore! Must be better than Sean Moore. Look, you can tell it's French because he has a baguette. The effects are also really impressive for such a low budget. These gory shots are insanely well done. What the hell was that? Ah! Also, the knife went nowhere near where he was holding.
Ce qui compte pour moi, c'est d'avoir un chantier qui pourra recevoir les plus grands bateaux du monde.
Dis-moi, vieille branche, comment peux-tu rester si jeune avec la vie que tu mènes?
Well, I'm an old stick and I did a half marathon in 1 hour 52. But look, this film actually gives us subtitles for the foreign scenes, unlike The Godfather Part 2, so this movie sucks. Also, these are the worst detectives ever. They make it so obvious that they're following someone. They instantly drive after them as soon as they leave. Their target turns around so they pull up immediately and start staring at them. They even pull up outside the building directly and just stare in at them. How? Look right here! He's literally staring right at him through the window! These are the worst detectives in the history of Stealthland! This auction scene is actually awfully edited. For a film praised for its editing, the auctioneer is constantly cough mid-breath, so you can tell they were filmed separately. It just looks awful.
18 over there, right? How about 20? Can I get 20?
20.
$20 over here. How about 22? 22 anywhere?
22.
I got 22 over here. Can I get 24?
24.
I mean, come on, how hard is it to not just cut someone off half sentence? It's just, oh look, they found the favourite snack of the writers of the Star Wars holiday special.
I can feel it. I'm dead certain.
Last time you're dead certain we have a dead cop.
No more dead cops!
But credit to the film's testicles, a sniper tries to take out Hackman but has terrible aim and ends up murdering a mother in front of her crying baby. Jesus Christ! And later on, Hackman nearly drives into another baby carriage. Why is this film's fetish with endangering infants? But how can Hackman see the culprit running away when he's on the roof and then he manages to reach the ground and still have him in eyesight?
Even you with your great speed couldn't stop both of them.
But who cares? This entire chase is heart-pounding stuff. It's absolutely brilliant. I don't understand though. The sniper kills the conductor and wouldn't the driver have heard this? He carries on moving. In fact, the killer finds him and he's oblivious to whatever just happened. Is he deaf? And when he has the driver at gunpoint, security show up to make sure he's okay and the sniper tells him not to reply. Wouldn't it make more sense to force him to say, yeah, I'm okay? I mean, he just pops out and kills them. It's just pointless and dumb. I mean, at least here it makes sense for them to be intimidated by Hackman because he actually has a goddamn gun this time. But the final shootout is awesome and Hackman vanishes. We hear a gunshot and the credits play, not revealing what the hell happened. Except for the closing captions. It's a decent film, a bit overrated, a bit slow at points, but when it picks back up, it definitely picks back up, and it is certainly worth your time. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more, I'm reviewing every film in the 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die 2016 edition book, so make sure you subscribe to keep up to date with them and also turn on notifications to be alerted for each episode. You can vote for which film to be reviewed next at the link in the description. What do you think of the French Connection? Let me know about it in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. People think I don't give films a chance. I actually didn't like this film the first viewing. I watched it twice.